Hey guys, good morning. So today I would like to give some clarity about the concepts of principles. As you may know, in one of my last videos, I had talked about the value and the importance of principles over the practicalities that we adopt in our lives to solve our problems. So there I can understand there could be many understandings on account of the efficacy of principles as part of our daily habits, as part of our daily strategy of application to solve our problems. So I can understand there may be many concerns on account of understanding the true value of principles in terms of its real applicability and its terms of its real efficiency in terms of finding solutions to many of our problems. So there have been certain concerns. One of those concerns is that uh, practicality solves our problems compared to principles, which in itself is a thing that gives a lot of pain and suffering on part of the person who's trying to implement it. So I'd like to address this question. I'd like to say that principles are not some dogmatic way of thinking, believing, or acting. Principles are some natural truths that are constant laws across the factors of time and space. Principles do not make you stubborn or make you dogmatic. Rather, it makes you flexible enough to adapt to your situations that prevails around you, and principles are things that makes you completely compatible with your surroundings, and it makes you efficient enough to respond in a manner that completely suits the surrounding that you're part of, and it thus helps in finding long-term solutions to the problems that you confront in life. Whereas practicalities may give you some short-term solutions to your problems and may also give you some short-term happiness, whereas if you think of repercussions in long terms, those practicalities will definitely not give you solutions that may remain successful, that may prove successful in long time. So this is one thing that we have to understand, that principles are not dogmatic way of thinking. They are not stubborn way of behaving. Rather, they are some natural principles on which the entire universe is based. Each and every constituent that forms this universe is based on some natural truths, in the absence of which the functioning of the constituents of the universe gets compromised. So we have to understand the natural truths that govern the functioning of the constituents of the universe. And we, human species, being the part of this constituent of the universe, are also governed by certain truths. Even our body runs or functions on some truths of nature, a violation of which renders our body ill or sick. Until unless we understand the truths of our body that governs its functioning, it's very difficult to remain healthy and fit. Similarly, it applies to our mind, it applies to our spirit, and it applies to each and everything that our body, mind, and spirit does. So, solving any problem of our life or of our society is totally based on the natural principles governing those situations. Until unless we understand those situations that governs the truths of the problems that surrounds us, it's not possible to find long-term solutions to those problems. So, for example, if I give you, if you find a person, if you are in a company, a manager, and if you find some of your employees to violating some of your rules, then you have I can understand being in part of an organization, because it's such a small scale, and it has some real short-term goals as well, and that the managers or the employees of the company are expected to deliver. So on account of that, there may be certain compulsions in the way you deal with your problems. I can understand that, but I'm not saying that practicalities should be completely done away with or completely shunned away with as matter of your policy, but it must be understood that application of principles are the only way to find long-term solutions to your problems. So the example that I was trying to explain was that when an employee is violating rules in your company, there are many options in front of the manager. He may fire him, he may abuse him, he may cut down his salary, or he may give him any other kind of punishment, or he may also trying to understand the basic things that have been responsible for his violation of that rule. And if he tries to, I'm not saying that within a day or two he can do that, but in a long term, if he has it in his character to really focus on the real basic things that govern behavior of his employees, then it's very sure that in long term he'll be able to generate the kind of self-conscience in those employees, to make sure that in future they do not repeat such mistakes again. So that will not just have an impact on how he behaves in the company, but also an impact in his own personal life. And thus there will be a cultural revolution that manager can help produce in the company. So that's possible only when he has sounder understanding of basic principles that governs human behavior. So this is just one thing that I wanted to make clear. I may understand that there may have been some concerns, that out of things that I mentioned in my videos. So I just thought today to address that one concern arising out of misunderstanding with regard to the concept of principle itself. So thank you guys. Thank you for listening this.